Robin issue 13, which is Joshua Williamson writing with Roger Cruz on the art. And I will say I did get whiplash from the art change going to this issue. I definitely liked the art in this less because it felt like it was a very different style for a start. I mean,
it felt like Ivan Reis style. It's very clean, and very, like, to me, I guess someone would say like house style. It still fits. There's still a lot of energy to it. With the fight scenes and stuff. Like, it's not bad art, but it's not remarkable either.
I think at its best it feels kind of house stylish, but there are moments that I think, like the first page I think is actually one of the worst, because I think Batman's head looks just really weirdly shaped and angled. I don't know what's going on there, but it's not terrible by any means. It's just
it's very, like, mediocre sounds bad, right? But it's very just, it's fine. There's nothing good about it. There's nothing terrible about it. It fits.
Yeah. It's the most boring thing to say, but that's what it is. So, yeah, obviously a bit of a fight breaks out with Robin, Deathstroke, Ravager, and Respawn. And Damien's demanding to know, why Deathstroke. Deathstroke's trying to tell him that he didn't kill Raz. He sets off an explosion, so they come out through the ground up out of the street on top of a building, and they're still fighting. Robin's coming after Deathstroke. It's all kicking off, and yeah, basically the whole thing stops because Respawn tries to say, "Look, I was with Deathstroke. It wasn't really him." And Damien's like, "Why should I trust you?" And then he whips off his mask and he's like, "Because I'm you, sort of." And this is where, if you haven't been reading Deathstroke Inc., and maybe some of it's still new as well, I'm not sure how in depth it went before, but this idea that he is actually a clone, very, very Connor Kent-esque actually, where he's a clone that is designed from Talia and Deathstroke.
Right.
So he's technically Damien's half brother. Which of course is referenced here.
With Slade. Well, not with Slade, but from Slade.
Yes.
Too. So, like, it's also Rose's half brother. So it's like somehow Robin and Ravager are now related.
That's pretty funny, but notably not Jason, because she's been having a thing with Jason, and that would be weird.
Right, because but he says here, and this bothered me, and it's my own personal philosophy, because I believe family's who you choose, not who you're born into, right? So when they all do this and they go over his origin again, in case people weren't reading,
which I wasn't, so I was pleased to get this.
Right, he says, I have a brother, and there's a smile. I was like, yeah, you have 3 other brothers too, and a couple sisters at this point, So that was just a little weird to me, like. Feeling like Damien feels like only blood counts is weird, because
I don't think he does, but I think he's just excited by the idea.
Yeah, I do. And again, it's probably my own personal philosophy, right? With when it comes to family, is that the family you choose can be, better than the one that you're born into. And I just definitely feel like, of course he doesn't take Tim as a brother, because him and Tim don't get along. But like Dick is definitely his older brother, So I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. Respawn attacks him immediately, and is very jealous because
not for long.
because Damien is a little shit and yet is still loved by so many people regardless, whereas he was like held and tortured for most of his life. So
they're that shadow version and light version of one another.
Yes.
Kind of what the movie Us was kind of hinting at. Just not as concisely as this.
Yes. But Batman breaks up. He jumps down from the Batwing. He's arrived just in time, and is like, "Wait, what? My son has a half brother."
the reaction on him too, again, and this fits. So this is what I give the art a pass a little bit, because it fits in with the tone of the Robin book lately. So like when Respawn yells "not for long," there's a rematch like in a video game. Kind of thing going. And then when Bruce jumps down and he says what, and he's in between them, you have the exclamation kind of logos around him, like they're coming off of him, like he's shocked, and it all fits in very well with Robin, just in tone, if not look. So I like that. But yeah, and then the fight, you have all of them standing on the rooftop together,
Yeah, but then Deathstroke gets a call, and Angel Breaker has got Moon, one of Deathstroke's, cohorts.
Yeah, Dr. Moon.
And is like, well, if you don't come in, I'm going to kill him. And Deathstroke basically lets it happen, which Batman's not too thrilled about. And Deathstroke's logic is, look, she's going to do it anyway. Like, it doesn't really matter what I do. So we do get this moment though where Batman's pleading for it not to happen. And you get this. I mean, I will say this: I did like the page of this guy's death because the red background with the splat. It was well executed. I think it does help that it's all in silhouette because I don't necessarily like the line work as much on this artist, but that's fine. So ultimately, Damian believes Deathstroke didn't kill Raz at this point. He's maybe Talia is somewhere behind it, maybe not, but he doesn't believe that it's Deathstroke anymore. And there's a bit of an explosion moment when they're fleeing. Batman has to shield Damian, some civilians, and it's all a nice moment. But at the end, Batman's like, hey, can we please work through this together and go and deal with this and solve this case? Is there anything that'll, prove to you that I want to work with you and like make amends for everything? And Damien's like, let me drive. So it's cut to him driving the Batwing. That's that. And then the ending of the issue, the cliffhanger, is that to protect the rest of Deathstroke's goons, various members of Batman Inc. have went over to protect them, and the examples we get are Ghostmaker and Clown Hunter, which, I mean, I don't really like Ghostmaker that much, but this doesn't...
Clown Hunter?
Clown Hunter's okay, but this doesn't bother me because I don't think this is going to be something we focus on too much. I think this is just like, this is like, they're protecting them off panel now in the background, and that's fine.
And also the fact that they brought up Ghostmaker prompted us, and so in the last issue, prompted us that he might be showing up because he has a history with the League.
And it's Williamson who created... No, it's not actually. No. That was Tynan. But he was using Ghostmaker, though, when he was doing his Batman issues as well.
Yeah, with Batman Inc. stuff. So it all fits in, but I did groan a little when, because again, it primed us, but I didn't think Ghostmaker is actually... I thought that was more of an Easter egg kind of deal. I did kind of groan a bit, but, hopefully they don't focus on these two that much. But we'll see. I mean, that said... They've proved, I don't know what story it was, but that Ghostmaker doesn't have to be annoying, at least to me. So maybe Williamson will help that. But yeah, I'm still enjoying the story for the most part.
I enjoyed the story a lot. If anything, I enjoyed the story in this a bit more on the previous part. But the art was a step down, I think, in this Robin issue versus the Deathstroke Inc. issue. I'd probably say that I'd still give it a 7 and I'd probably still even it out at a 7. But I'd say slightly better story, worse art.
Yeah, like if we did 0.25s, I would definitely give this one a 0.25 over the last one.
Sure.
But they are about even, which I think being Williamson and them being that even really helps the event, the story crossover, because it doesn't make it feel like one issue is more important than the other. That they are just part of the same story. So that's nice.
Do you know what? He's a consistent 7 out of 10 writer. That's not really that true because he tanked heavily in the Flash, but typically when he's on point, he's hitting consistent 7s out of 10.